Yo, what's going on, guys? Clutch back again with another video for you guys, and today is going to be another tactics video. Before we do get into it, if you haven't already, please drop a like on the video, drop a comment as well if you've got any questions, want to talk about anything FIFA related or anything football related, really, whatever you want. And also as well, if you can, please smash the sub button as well. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, so any one of you that subs helps. Also, just wanted a quick apology for yesterday's video. I know there was a bit of a black screen towards the end. I think the video just cut out. Like it basically didn't render properly, and I wasn't at home, so I couldn't take it down. But I do appreciate everyone who let me know, so thank you very much for that. So yeah, we're going to get into it now. Like I said, it is the 4-2-2. Don't know why that's a 67 because I had it on 71 a second ago. Right, so defensive style is unbalanced. Again, for me with the 4-2-2, the only time I would maybe use a pressure tactic, and if it was to be that, it would be pressure on heavy touch, is maybe just to try and win the ball back in slightly higher areas. But for me personally, don't really feel like you need it. I think you can just get away with being unbalanced and just being a solid defensive structure. Also as well, with what we've got with our instructions as well, it will help us out. So I don't really feel like we desperately need to be on a press tactic personally. Now the width is on 45. Again, this is mainly just down to the fact that we want to tuck those fullbacks in ever so slightly when we are defending, just to try and basically concede less through balls. It can be a real pain in the butt to kind of like just like defend those passes if you don't have the right width. So just ever so slightly narrowing it just makes it a little bit easier. Now the depth is on 71. We are back to the 71 depth. It is something that, like I said, I don't like to keep doing because I know a lot of you guys are getting fed up with it. But at the minute, it is the best thing to use on the game. If you don't want to use 71 depth just out of like a protest, then you can obviously use 50 depth as well. Really is up to you, but for me, I would use the 71 depth because it is so good with pressing. Now the build-up play is unbalanced again, mainly down to the fact of I don't really feel like we really need anything. The only thing I would maybe lean towards is maybe using long ball, just because it can help sometimes with the getting the through balls off. Just you can usually make your player just trigger those runs a little bit earlier. But for me personally, I'm just using balance because it's just what I personally like using. But like I said, if you did use long ball, wouldn't be an issue. Now we are still using direct passing as our chance creation tactic. It is still absolutely busted. I saw a couple of people saying they feel like it may not be as good anymore. I couldn't disagree more personally. I still think it's an absolute joke. It's so easy to just break people down with these through balls, and just your players making better runs because of direct passing is a massive factor to that. So for me personally, it's a must use. Now the width again on 45, just to try and tuck those wide cams in, basically just to try and get us a little bit more involved in the attack, building up play a bit more with our strikers, with our CDMs, just trying to move the ball around a little bit better. And I find the higher the width, the harder that can be when you don't have a central cam. So just having those wingers tucked in helps a lot. Now, we do have the players in the box on 7. Again, you can choose between 6 or 7, but for me personally, it's 7. Just because I am trying to get some more bodies into the box. I just feel like at times, like where you have the wide cams and you have the CDMs, if they're not in the right positions, like it can be quite hard to attack sometimes. And if you just have those players in the box ever so slightly higher, it means those wide cams just go that little bit further forward, get that little bit more involved in the attack. And that's what we need from this formation. Now, both of our corners and free kicks should have been on 2. Now, this is mainly due to the fact of I personally like to just I like to stop basically conceding goals from counter attacks from corners. It's my absolute pet peeve and I absolutely hate it. Also as well, running 2 corners means that you can use basically a set piece tactic where you can just swing it to the back post from the corners, and it works super well as your players make a certain run on 2 corners. Do you want to have an amazing team like this? Well, head over to iggm.com to get the cheapest and most reliable coins on FC24 and use code CLUTCH at checkout for 5% off. Now guys, we are going to head over to the custom tactic, the instructions, sorry, what am I on about? Obviously this is how we laid out with the team: Dembele, Neymar up front with Diani, Rodrigo on the wings, Modric and Bruno G as our 2 CDMs, and then Mendy, Blanc, Vidic and Llorente and Alisson in goal. A very solid team, and a team I've absolutely enjoyed using. It's just a joy when you've got those 2 up front, really. So we do have both of our strikers on stay central and get in behind. They are both on stay central because, like I said, we don't need any wider support. Obviously, we're going to have the fullbacks and we do have those wide cams. So we really do just want those strikers staying in those central positions, making it as easy as possible to basically get in behind and score goals. Like I said, we really are trying to make the best use of through balls and things like that, really just trying to get in behind. So just having those two on stay central, getting behind it is an absolute must-have. Now, we do have our left cam on come back on defence, get into the box for cross. Now, this is because we have them on come back on defence, basically, to just try and help us shore up our defence a little bit, especially when we are, like, obviously, when we're maybe getting counter-attacked and things like that. Some people may look at this and go, oh, well, doesn't that mean that they don't attack as much? And no, it doesn't. They may obviously sometimes start in a bit of a further back position, but they will still absolutely bomb forward and try and score goals. And also, using that extra players in the box does mean we just do try and push them that extra bit up the pitch when we are going forward as well. And then we do have the same on Rodrigo as well, and obviously for the same reasons of basically just trying to help out a bit more defensively, and then also just trying to get them in the box. Obviously, sorry, I didn't talk about it. We do have both of them will get into the box for cross as well, just to try and basically, again, have them a little bit higher up the pitch, and also have them available for back post crosses, cutbacks, things like that. Really just trying to get those extra bodies in the box to try and help us score goals. Now, I do have one of my CDMs on stay but while attacking cover centre. This guy will be a bit more of your defensive CDM. He'll be the one kind of sitting back, helping protect your back line, really trying to break up play, move the ball around, and just having him on stay back while attacking just means that he won't go forward. Also, then having them on cover centre as well does mean that he just basically looks after the central area of the pitch. As like I said, we do have a lot of wide options with the wing backs and also the two wide cams as well, so we just don't need that extra defensive support out wide. I do also have our left CDM on stay but while attacking cover centre. Again, if you wanted to be a bit more experimental and a bit more aggressive, you could definitely have this guy unbalanced. But for me, I'm just trying to be as defensively secure as possible. So that does mean having Modric on stay but while attacking cover centre as well. Obviously, like I said, it really is up to you what you want to do. You can be a bit more aggressive if you'd like. But for me personally, it doesn't really help anything. Now, I do have both of my centre-backs on all default instructions. Again, not trying to do anything too crazy with these guys. These just are the guys there to help defend our back line. Now, I do have both of them on balanced at the minute, but I would definitely suggest, again, if you're trying to be that little bit more aggressive, put them on comes for crosses and sweep a keeper. What this does is when your opponent, is playing through balls, your goalie will start that little bit further out from his line. Just means that it'll be a little bit easier to rush out and get the ball if your centre-backs can't. Just makes it a little bit easier. Also then as well, if you do have him on comes for crosses as well, that does mean that when they swing balls in, instead of maybe hiding on his line and conceding some silly headers, because we all know it can be like that, they do try and come out and try and win that ball. Obviously there are risk reward to it and you have to accept that, but for me, I believe it could be worth it. But for me at the minute, I've just been trying to be a bit simpler for you guys, try and make it as easy to understand as possible. Now, I do have then my left back on stay but while attacking, overlap. Now, he's on stay back, obviously, to try and help defend and just try and be as secure as possible. Also, we do have him on overlap as well, just so when we do commit him forward, because that'll be generally a manually triggered thing, then he'll hopefully make that wide run as Diani and Rodrigo, hopefully, basically your wide cams cut in, those full backs will overlap and just give you even more attacking options. And then, obviously, this is the same as well for Llorente. So hopefully guys you did enjoy this video. If you did, like I said, please drop a like, drop a comment, smash that sub button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.